everybody. Welcome to my new series where I review voiceover actor websites without their permission. I got this idea from somebody on TikTok named Alex, and he reviews people's watch collections without their permission. And I thought it would be a good idea to review some voiceover actor websites so that you can understand what is good and what works and what should be amended so that people have a clear buyer's journey from when the second they land on your website all the way through. If it's easy to listen to your shit, if it's easy to figure out how to connect with you, if all your links work, if you have too much text, not enough text. I mean, there's so many factors to consider, and I am by no means the only authority, right? I've gone through several iterations of websites in my career, and I really think it's important that I tell you that I haven't had like formal training about this. I've just been through a lot of it, and I have seen what works. I've seen what doesn't. I've seen what converts. And that's what we want to get to. You want to get inbounds, right? You want to get inbounds on your business. You also want to be presented as the expert and professional that you are. And a website is your first sort of way of doing that. So I want you to take a look at my screen. And right now, there's several tabs open at the top, right? We have our first like Google screen right there. But then there's other websites. This one happens to be mine. You can see my favicon here at the top. There's favicons here at the top of all of these. But look at this black square. This is one of the easiest things that you can fix in your back end of your website host. Look for favicon, Favicon. That's one of the silliest, easiest things that you can fix on your website because casting often has a ton of tabs open. Agents, other people looking for voice talent have like a ton of tabs open on their screen. Do you want to be one of the many black boxes, or do you want to continue to be easily findable with your face, with your name, with recognition here? Um, I love I love this one. It's got his name and his little slogan. Great. My other issue with this one is while there's some good SEO words here, non-union voice actor and his little slogan, I hate the word professional in terms of what we're calling ourselves. Like, obviously, you're a professional voice actor. It would be silly to think of anything else. So get rid of professional when you're qualifying yourself in this business and stick to other things that make sense. Instead of professional, he could put male or whatever, however he identifies. But let's jump right in to this website. So the first thing I kind of notice here is that it's a lot, right? There's just so much fucking going on. There's so many different fonts. There's something scrolling. There's a lot of words. It's very overwhelming in terms of information. So instead of professional non-union voice actor up here on the left, which when I click, it just refreshes the home screen, I would change this out with his email. Because look, I know there's a contact me button right there, but so many people just like grab text and copy and paste and use that. So why not make it, again, as easy as possible for somebody to get in touch with you, right? I would center this. This is like off center. It looks kind of awkward. Remove this scrolling text. Take all of this management and artist talent management information about his agency and put it in the footer or in some other kind of landing page that maybe, as a contact page or talks about how he's represented. Let's check up here to see if these links work. It's strange to see two of these, but let's just see what they are. Okay, a link tree with his official website, resume, demos, actors access, casting networks, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. So like the only thing here that's different than from what's on his website is actors access and casting networks. I would probably get rid of this first link for the link tree and just make actors access and casting networks a link in the footer. Let's check if LinkedIn works. Sure does. Let's check Facebook. Sure does. Let's check Insta. Sure does. And let's see this mystery link. A Calendly. Okay, great. Um, let's see what the contact me does. Oh, it goes to a form. It's a little weird. Judged here, so you can see right underneath his email. There's his email, finally. Um, so I would just go into the back end of Squarespace and fix that. So this is an interesting image. I get it. As someone, oh, as someone in aviation and a family of aviators, fire and airplanes maybe don't necessarily go the best together, but I think it's cool that, you've turned it into a microphone. I would get rid of the scrolling thing. Again, it does nothing for you. Let's go back home and continue down. So simplify this. It's just a lot of text. It's very overwhelming. Simplify this. Let's go down. Jim's voice is rugged, gritty, gravitas. That's grammatically incorrect. Jim's voice is gravitas. I would never. So all of these things. Also, there's a grammatical error there. All of these words, like I know they're there for SEO, but I would really avoid telling people what your voice sounds like and let them decide on their own. Because look, you say gravitas again, rugged again. Like there's just a lot of repeatable things here. Not a great bio. Um, and using celebrity references, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight celebrity references who are all very different. Like you're telling me you sound like Morgan Freeman and Matthew McConaughey? You sound like Tom Hanks and Keith David? Like these are all very disparate references, and it's confusing. It doesn't add clarity to your voice. It just makes someone think, what the fuck? And it also could give the impression that you think you are like a celebrity and therefore have similar kind of ego to match. So I would get rid of this entire bio because it does nothing to help a buyer understand who this actor is. It also is repeated kind of nonsense and it's not grammatically correct. So I would fix that. Love that there's commercial reel, animation reel, automotive reel, and kids media singing. That's fantastic. Love all of those things. The one of the biggest things I would update here is adding a timestamp onto these reels so that people understand what they're getting themselves into before they click. It's hard, right? It's hard to know, oh, okay, well, if I click on this animation reel, it's a minute and a half. Okay. This one's 57 seconds. This one's a minute 18. And this one's a minute and a half also. So if that timestamp was there in the description, I would prefer that. I would also like to know what kind of commercial reel or animation reel or what are these things? And you can do that with some descriptors. This is a bright millennial guy next door retail reel or whatever it happens to be. I haven't listened to them yet because that's not part of really like what I'm doing here. I'm just working on the website. Scrolling down again, like there's lots of movement here and it's a little overwhelming. Oh wow, look at this featured work. Look at all these samples, how organized and neat and clean they are. This is awesome. I love to see this. I would just under this commercial, I would just make the new you, whatever that is, syntactically similar to what we have going on here. Like it's all underscore. I mean, lowercase, and we want it to be the same uppercase as everything else that's going on here. But look how organized this is. This is beautiful. Love that. Um, again, with the timestamp, I would add that there. Oh, and look, there's lots of video here. That all looks great. Nice. Client reviews. Okay, here's the thing with client reviews. I don't mind them, okay? Like, have them, have testimonials, have client reviews, but like, who gives a fuck about Carol Blank? What about like Chris Blank and Nator Blank and Jennifer Blank and Gabriel? Like, who fucking cares? There's no even last name or association with who they are and where they're from. Like, no one gives a shit. It could be your mom for all we know, or these could be totally made up. And like, that's the issue with testimonials. Like, they could all be made up anyway, but if there's some credibility behind them with like a logo or like a full name or something, then we're more inclined to accept it. But these are all like random. They're organized, but they don't really add credibility to me. Meet Jim. This is what I would put where that other like weird bio is. I would put that there. I can also already spot some syntactical issues, like the N in animation here is capitalized when it shouldn't. The E in e-learning should be lowercase. So there's a couple of things here. I didn't even read this yet, but there's a couple of things here that I would probably update. Studio specs, fine. The resume is right there. Okay. The resume is also very overwhelming. I would get rid of the logo and probably the picture and really focus and the bio and really focus on what the experience is. There's so many good things here. Look at all the shit that this person has done. It's just not formatted in a way that's easy to read. And like, this is off center here. These things are off centered. So I would, oh, and he's got management and look at all of his agencies: DDO, Crown North, J Purvis, RPM, Voicebox. Okay, like I would never put my agencies all on a resume, because if you want to work with more agents and you want to freelance with more agencies, that's not a selling point for them, right? I would leave agencies and management information off the resume and just put it in your footer or contact section. Oh, VO rates. I typically book within standard US industry rates. What does that mean? What are typical US industry rates for what? For like, what does that mean? That's so vague. That said, I custom quote each job. Okay, great. I often give volume discounts. That's nice. In some cases, offer a subscription style arrangement. I wonder what that is. I've never really heard that before. Maybe he means like retainer. The more I know about the job usage duration, the more accurate the quote I can give you. Yeah, this whole section I would get rid of. It does nothing. It does not add any value. My services, some buzzwords I get often. Again, this if you really want to put this type of shit on your website, keep all of it, but make it the same color as your background so that it's not busy and it's not clogging up, what's going on here. Ooh, what is this? Uh, it's the definition of these words. Okay, this whole section is completely useless. I would get rid of this entirely. Like, no one needs we all know what these things are. This is a weird, it's also like the formatting, there's an extra space there. Like, this is a weird section. For a voice that brings us your story to life, reach out. I'd love to help. Let's talk. What is this? Okay, it goes to the form. This should probably link out to an email. Then we have, oh, we don't have a footer. It's the logo with this scrolly thing. So I would add a footer. I would put the form in the footer. I would also put all of the agency representation in the footer, the actors access, the casting networks, another email spot, and I would clean all of that up because there's a lot of good things here, but the way that it's organized and the way that we first kind of see it, it's a lot. It's a lot for us to kind of understand, and it's hard for the buyer. So if it's an agent, if it's a casting director, if this is somebody outside of the entertainment industry and they land on your website, like this is not an easy, readable, and understandable type of website. Okay, and lastly here, let's just check what this looks like on mobile. I would advise you do this on like this mobile version desktop, but also like on your actual mobile device. What's going on up here? That's new. I don't know why that just appeared. So you can do on a Mac if you hit Control and click and hit Inspect. Then you can change out the different types of things up here depending on what you want. But like this is a basic mobile device. And look, it's just kind of a mess. Whoa, lots happening. Organized here, which is great, but it just goes on forever, doesn't it? Looks pretty good. Mostly down here, it's pretty organized. Just kind of dies though at the end. But this top part here, oof, it just, what do we do? What do we do? I don't know. It's terrible. Um, all of that looks fine. It's mobile optimized a little bit. I would just clean up the way this looks. So those are my 2 cents. And hopefully, if Jim Pilot ever sees this, I doubt he will, but if he ever does, he can ask me some questions and he can make some changes to really optimize it because clearly, from his resume and the different work that he has, he's working and he's got a lot of good shit. But I bet it's coming from the 5 agencies that he's working with and not necessarily any kind of direct marketing. Um, so that's it. I hope this helps. And if you want your website audited, please let me know.